Yes. Back up in the place to be.
Come on, man. Ring that bell right, Kay. Ring the bell right, man.
My rider. Yeah. How y'all feeling?
Man, smooth.
Yeah, how's it feel to be on the other side of the table? Any different? Because a lot of the times y'all be on the other side of the table, but to be on this side, it ain't no different feeling, you know. Just
hey, it feel good. Feel good, man. I take my hat off to you behind there, man.
Oh man, I'm operating. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you may be in the world. We thank you for being right here with us on the patio. We got an episode for you, but before we get into that, y'all already know who I am. But in case you don't, I am the value that allows you the opportunity to roll with me.
The what?
The value.
Okay.
That allows you the opportunity to roll with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put some gold on me, baby. Put some gold.
Listen, I just did it. I laced you know, okay? The value.
King Mac Millie, Sir Mac, but I'm not here by myself. I am joined by, you glowing. You glowing right now.
You know I do what I do.
Right.
Since you the value, I'm going to be the light.
Oh, yeah. Bring the light. Shine on me.
It's your girl, Shanga the Medicine Woman. I am in the building full of black men, and I'm loving it.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Don from the Rider for Life family, you already know.
Yes, sir. We got some power in the room. We got some power in the house. We gonna get into it. As I'm talking, I'm heating up and getting chills at the same time.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? Fire sign. You know what I'm saying?
Hot.
It's getting hot up in here, but it's gonna get a little smoky too. You know.
Oh.
The title of today's episode is Black and Blue. Black and Blue. So, you know, sit on that for a little bit, let it fester in your mind. We're going to go ahead and get to this theme, and we're going to get into the episode when we get back up in here like.
We hope you stay a while, cause it's Rider for Life, trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's Rider for Life, trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, yeah. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. I said it's Rider for Life. Come in with the shows that you like. We trying to be the best on the mic. DJ playing cuts that you like, yeah. It could be the start of your day, or maybe just the end of your night. But if you rock it with us, Patio PolitiCz is gonna do you right. Oh, cause it's Rider for Life, trying to be part of your life, yeah. We got whatever you like, come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's Rider for Life, trying to be part of your life, we got whatever you like, come on and just give us a try, yeah. We hope you stay a while.
You gotta walk out bow-legged, yes.
You know what? Y'all, welcome to the patio. We out here in this black and blue season.
Yeah, we hope you stay. We hope you stay, because if you don't, you know what I'm saying, what we gonna do to him, Shanga?
No.
We not doing that today?
We gonna handcuff the ass.
Oh, yeah.
And we gonna
Wait a minute.
We're gonna beat him black and blue?
See, that's why I never answer that question. I will never answer that question.
Hey, you know I'm always be reckless just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I gotta have a little bit of balance going on.
I'm never gonna answer that question when you ask me, especially.
Why not?
So,
there's joy.
on the patio
I'm
today.
taking my glasses off.
Nah,
I'm ready.
man.
I'm ready.
Nah, man. Nah. It's a black man sitting across from me right here.
Indeed it is.
And the world needs to know him.
Indeed it
and
do.
his story.
Indeed.
And his purpose.
Oh, man.
And his light.
Man.
So.
Film writer. Producer. You know what I'm saying? A man of the community.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Just very deeply. It's inspiring, you know.
Real hands-on work.
I heard the word, I seen the word superhero.
Oh, yeah.
You know, flashed around a few times.
Yeah.
So it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance today. I don't think I've ever sat in a room full of superheroes, you know?
Black and Blue is the title of today's episode. And without further ado, we bring to you and welcome to the patio, Carlos Robin.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
It's the wrestling intro for me.
I mean, hey. I operate on a different level when everything is live.
There it
the
is.
microphones
There
and-
it is.
yeah.
Welcome, Carlos.
Thank you.
Man,
Yeah.
Carlos, man, let the people know a little bit about you, man. Where you from?
Yeah, Carlos Robbins. I also now go by Emir Junaid Jihad, military commander, fighter for the Holy War. We are at war right now, so that's why I identify myself as that.
Message.
Yeah, I'm.
Drop that thing right
Born
there.
and raised in Los Angeles, California, South Central.
Hey.
Instagram handle is Mayor of South Central. That's what I consider myself. That's what I appoint myself, because I speak for the people and I live for the people. Yeah, I came up in the streets of Los Angeles, so I just want to represent the people. I see a lot of struggle that my people went through. The last 25 years, that's how long I've been alive, but then also for the past 40 years since we've been on this land. And I want to help my people. I want to liberate my people, so that's who I am. I embody that.
That's inspiring.
Sorry.
I am in awe immediately.
Right. I was like, wait, you gotta do interview. I was
saying?
thinking into it.
Immediately 25 years, you know what I'm saying, and to have done as much as you have done to this point, like I'm glad to be here to be able to give you your flowers. It feels good. The spirit is definitely in here, but a few questions that we usually like to ask our guests when they reach the patio and have a seat with us. I'm going to go ahead and ask you those 3 questions as well, you know what I'm saying, just to pop your cherry a little bit.
Don't say that.
No, don't say that.
And I don't think you should really say that to another man.
You know, I got to break the ice.
Excuse Mac. He be getting a mic and then things happen.
I got to break the ice,
Have
get a couple of laughs
mercy.
in there and everything.
Break the
But,
ice. We're just gonna break the ice with these 3 questions.
With a little bit of cherry juice on top. But Carlos, what is your purpose, your passion, and what are your pleasures in life?
I think my purpose is to liberate Black people, not just in Los Angeles, not just in the United States, but also around the world. What was the other 2? My passion.
Your passions, yes.
My passion is just. My second biggest thing I think is film writing and creating films. I consider myself an artist. And films and art form. My biggest passion, I think, is helping Black people reach their true potentials and getting everything that we owed in life. My pleasures, I think it's those 2 things: making films and helping my people. Those are the biggest things. I mean, I work out and I play sports from here and there, but helping Black people, I find a lot of pleasure in that.
Just can I have your autograph? Can we just knock this out right here? As a matter of fact, I got a pen, I got a pad right here.
Hey.
Just go ahead and sign that for me.
Hey, and did you say kinda workout?
Yeah,
I-
a little bit.
He said kinda, and then I
Kinda.
looked and
Hey,
saw
look.
the ripples coming from under his shirt, and I was like, okay, kinda.
This man has beat me in a push-up contest.
What?
Hey, cold.
What?
Cold game.
What was the number that y'all reached? What y'all get to?
Don't tell on yourself, Kay.
I don't
We
know.
got up in the 40s or 50s, I think.
It was up there.
What was your losing number, Kay?
We was doing it for a while, and everybody else tapped out except
Yeah.
me and this
We was the
guy.
last
He
two,
he a beast.
Yeah,
There it
that takes mental strength.
Yeah.
and I know you mentally strong out of this world, Kay. So for somebody else
Oh
to,
no,
to
Carlos got it.
yeah, top you,
Hey,
ah.
and look, behind the scenes, like you just know the titles that people be putting on themselves, like shoes that they can't fit. Really, just watching this man work, he really put everybody else like ahead of himself. Like just seeing this guy on set, like you wouldn't even think that he holds the position that he do. He holding everything. He damn near sweeping. You know, up in there, you wouldn't even know that this guy is the reason why everything is standing afloat right here.
Thank
he
you,
really
thank you.
definitely.
Well, you got one more question. Your pleasures.
Oh yeah, it's just a mixture of those 2 things. Like I said, I like making films and writing, but then even more than that, I just love to help my people. Right now, I'm started a daycare, so we're trying to get that off the ground right now, and just working with those kids every day. It's amazing, man. I learn a lot about them. They learning from me. We push each other to be better, cause I work with these kids. I know they coming in at 9:30, even though I'm not with the police no more, I got to be up at 7, 6, sweeping, getting the lesson plans together and all type of stuff. And then I stopped working out, but
Are you sure?
I had to. I mean, I just started back like a week or two ago, but I did it because I want to show these kids, like, when I did play ball, you got to be all in. Yeah. So I'm back in the gym too with them, and we maxing out in the gym right now. So
what inspired you to start shaping young minds? Because that's a power right there,
Man.
I think I'm not really too religious, but I think the universe put this on me at a young age. I remember when I was like 10, 11, I would have little cousins from Watts. I'm more so from like Inglewood, like the west side of South Central. But I would have little cousins in Watts. I would try to just help. Christmas, I would rewrap Christmas toys and give them to my little cousins because I knew that they wouldn't get a lot. As I got older, I lost 2 brothers to gun violence in Los Angeles, and I just felt like I could have done something. They were both older than me by 2 years, but I felt like I could have done something to stop that from happening. And so, my answer as to like what I could have done is to just help the next generation. One of my brothers, he left behind a son. So his son is now, I take responsibility, and I find joy in raising his son. And that, I just want to stop the gun violence and the gang violence that's going on. So yeah, each one
teach one. We all play a role.
Each one teach 10. We got to teach 10. Absolutely.
Message.
Each one teach 10.
Nice.
You said
start saying that now. Go ahead. Man.
You talked about the liberation of Black people. In your mind, what does that look like outside of one teaching 10 or 20 of the young minds? In your mind, in your heart, what does that look like in execution?
And I talked to Jasmine and Ken a little bit about how much I'll reveal before I came in here, but I'm gonna reveal as much as I can. First and foremost, it means getting justice for our ancestors. Our people in America and in Africa went through so much apartheid, so much hangings and beatings, being castrated. It means getting justice for our ancestors, however that might mean. So I'm prepared to spend the next 40 years preparing my people to take back what's owed to us. It means reparations. I am glad that California is talking about it.
Yeah, California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not too optimistic about that though. I don't know if that's gonna actually happen. However, we gonna get it on our terms, and if it takes us 40 years, we gonna get our reparations for what this country owes us and what this world owes us. Also, there was so much art and gold and history that was taken from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna have to return that. Some of it is here in the United States. Some is in Europe, in those museums. It's billions of dollars worth of art and gold, diamonds. They need all that back. It's gonna be returned to those home countries. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. This world doesn't respect Black people, but they will soon.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it just means retaining ownership for the things that we own, which is ourselves. A lot of times they exploit our bodies. That comes in 1 of 3 ways. The workforce, we work for 50 years and retire, don't got much to show for it. They exploit us by putting us into prison for life, pretty much. And then the last thing is, if we do make it out, they still exploit us. Our athletes and our artists, our rappers, musicians, been exploited. So we need to retain ownership of our bodies. We need to retain ownership of the property that we have in Africa. I believe in, Africa should be for the Africans. So I'm glad that, what's going on over there is going on right now in Niger, and they really starting to stand up for themselves, and so, yeah, they and we just got to retain ownership. So that's what that means. Like I said, I'm prepared to prepare my people 40 years to be ready to take what this world owes us. So.
That's shame. That's shame.
You definitely been here before.
Man.
Clearly,
So,
with ancestral hands on his back.
Man,
Okay.
fighting the good fight. Fighting the good fight.
Man, we ain't fighting no good fights. We're not
Nah,
fighting no fights no more.
No more fights.
No, we
just
we
overtaking.
winning. We're just
do
winning
we
now.
have
We're just
a
winning.
problem?
We're just winning at this point.
Are we gonna talk about the Montgomery Mollywop or no? That's one of the things they
Come on
calling
with
it.
Come on with it.
I mean,
What's your take on that, man?
He said the Montgomery Mollywop.
Have so many names.
I'm gonna be honest. I was proud to see those black people stand up for that older black gentleman. They said he was like 65. You know,
With a hand.
Coming from all angles,
right.
jumping from balconies, swimming through rivers, like we coming.
If this was 70 years ago or 100 years ago, we wouldn't have saw, you know,
Man.
not just because we didn't have cameras like that back then, but we just wouldn't have stood up for our people like that. We would have been afraid to, and even if we would have tried, there would have been killings going on. So to see in 2023 that we were able to stand up for ourselves, and then for the government or the law enforcement agencies to kind of be impartial out there, at least so far, you know, this country has come a long way, and I'm proud of it. But there's a lot more work to do. But yeah, I'm proud of those black people for sticking up for that.
We came a long way from
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
Man.
absolutely.
Man.
Yeah, to just not be in fear or live in fear and be able to defend ourselves and stand up in such a way is we in a time. We in a time right now. It's enjoyable. It's a space.
Let's be clear in that black people have always stood up for themselves.
Well, yes,
and have always lived fearlessly.
To be able to do so without consequences.
I mean,
Wait. You said you think that we've always lived.
oh no, I know.
You know.
I know that. It's just that mainstream is not going to share those stories because that would then do exactly for black people what this Montgomery situation has done. When you can see and you hear and you know the stories where triumph was had instead of tragedy, it gives people a sense of pride. It brings people together. It gives them a visual example of what happens when we utilize our collective powers in spaces and places. So absolutely, even in the worst of times in America, our ancestors have always fought. They've never just sat down or laid down and taken it. And that's just the reality. And the stories are there. You just have to probe the right minds to get the stories.
Indeed.
You won't see them on the mainstream. And if you do, they're going to do things like, you know, the Nat Turner story or Harriet Tubman. And they always cheat Harriet when they tell her story because we know Harriet was a real nigga.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Not playing a lot of the games that they trying to make her seem very passive about. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, absolutely. We've always been those people. That's why we are still here and we will forever be here.
Carlos, you are an amazing young mind, shaping young minds. You spoke about taking care of your brother's son, but you also have a child of your own. What is it like being a father? What is fatherhood to you?
It's amazing being a father. I watched a movie like 5-6 years ago, and there was a quote that said, basically it's a father's job to know his son's like capacities. So I have a daughter, but with her, every day I'm figuring her out and just pushing her to be a better version of herself a little bit more. She's only 1.5 right now, but she's learned so much. I learned this from her. This is I think it's this is more sign language. Yeah. She knows that at 1.5. This is book, I think.
Yes.
She knows that, and then I think this is ouch or something like that. Ouch. She knows that too. I didn't know that until we started trying to teach her those things. She knows how to do squats and push-ups.
You got the baby squat.
Already?
I'm here for it.
Joe Jackson, he went a little overboard.
Yes, but the concept was good.
Serena, what's Serena and Venus Williams' dad name? They made King.
Yes.
King something, I forgot.
Yes.
Sorry, Serena and Venus. But it's basically that same concept. I'm gonna instill in her at a very young age, like, you are great. You're gonna push yourself to be great. Even if I shall leave this world, you're gonna continue on your path to greatness. And I do that because, you know, I'm seeing that if we don't do this for our kids and tell them, hey, do something, this world is going to give our kids something else to do. And it won't really align with greatness. But if they do find that greatness, they going to exploit it. I want her to know that she's great right now, and don't let it be exploited in 20 years.
Come on.
So.
As a black man with a black daughter,
Mm-hmm.
it looks different from having a son.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in your thoughts, as your daughter continues to grow, what's something that you intend to teach her or impart upon her in regards to her being a black woman when she begins to interact with other black men in the world?
To be honest, I mean, I don't know if I've thought too much into that yet.
She ain't dating until she 40, right?
Well, listen, here's the thing. It's not even just about dating. Her interactions with black boys and black men is going to happen when she starts going out into the world and meeting people without her family, you know.
I mean, I think my message to her is gonna be the same message to all my people and, you know, all my nieces and nephews is to respect your people and honor them. Even like if you 6 years old and there's another 6-year-old, respect that 6-year-old, honor that 6-year-old the same way that they should honor you. And I know a lot of parents aren't teaching that, but I don't really I don't plan on putting her in public school anyway. So she, as long as, I mean, up until she's about 14, she's pretty much gonna be around like a lot of like black power and like black unity anyway. Yeah, you know, I can't really account for what the world has for her, but I can account for what she has for the world. So
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And being prepared for it and such.
Yeah.
Carlos, there's so much that we got to tap into with you and everything. And like I said, I'm honored to be here within your presence. And it's not many people that I could say that to and feel good about that, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely an honor for you to be here with us right now.
Thank you.
But we're going to go ahead and slide into commercials, you know what I'm saying? pay some bills, you know what I'm saying? Put a couple of other things on a pedestal.
Let's not pay no more bills. How about we just say we're going to call the money in?
I just changed it, you know what I'm saying?
We're going to open our hands for the money to flow in.
We're going to put some other gifts on the podium, on the pedestal, you know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all stay locked in with us right here on the Patio PolitiCz, and we're going to be right back at you like.
A culmination of powerful properties that create balance and produce good energy. Cultivating a culture of mindfulness is a daily battle. We target your inner me. Physiological effects, change you can truly feel. Aesthetically pleasing on the surface, but handmade to help you heal.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
Indeed, yes you are. We are sitting here with quite the idol of the community, a superhero. Carlos is in the building.
Yeah.
How you feeling? You still good? You gravy?
Absolutely. Man.
Yeah.
Feeling comfortable, feeling welcomed and loved.
Absolutely.
All right, then we're doing our job outside.
That's what I'm talking about. So we touched on it when we brought you in just a little bit, but now it's time to dig into it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Film writer, producer. What inspired you to become such a thing, and what are we doing in that lane?
I think this is also one of those things where, as a kid, I kind of found passion in it. Since I was like 8 or 9 years old, the teacher would give us like little prompts to write, and I think I would kind of take them overboard. And looking back, I don't even know if I was like really following the prompt too much, but I was like, you know what? I want to write about this, so here we go. And the teacher going to just have to accept it.
Yeah, grade me.
Grade me.
all those stories I wrote about, I think I pretty much put them into this collective comic thing that I'm gonna get into soon.
You still got them?
Yeah. Like
nice.
you know, when I was 7 or 8, it was just in my mind. But now I actually have I have scripts for them. I have some of them
Nice.
drawn out. I have a whole little like comic universe like DC has or Marvel has.
Nice.
And so I plan on rolling that out in a few years. But I need a lot of money for that one. So
It's coming to you.
yeah, absolutely.
King-
You got a
King
villain
got
right
the
here if
money
you
tree.
need one.
Oh, my.
That's the first time you looked at me, y'all. So yeah, you got a villain right here if you need one.
Yeah, I mean, as I got older, when I got into sports, I kind of left it a little bit. And then when I turned, 18, 19, as I kind of transitioned out of like taking sports so serious, I tapped back into, wanting to write. And so I wrote the script for the movie that I'm almost finished with right now, Trading Souls.
Trading Souls.
Yeah, and a few more scripts. Trading Souls at the time seemed like the most practicable one to actually get made. Because when you write a script, or at least for me at 18, 19, I was like, okay, how am I gonna like present this to the world and say, hey, I need you guys to help me make this. But for my movie Trading Souls, it was like, okay, I can like explain this to people and they're like, okay, I can hop on board with that. So that's the one I went with.
Very interesting premise, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Very, very, very. The day in the life in another shell.
And to switch it out.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Just gonna say that without giving away too
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
but, yeah.
I had a side note question, like, for you coming up, how did you dodge the violence that your brothers and them wasn't able to?
I think it was just perspective. I think since a child I was like, I had like good insight. And so like there was like little instances where like I think I was maybe like 9 or 10, maybe even younger than that. We were in church with my mom, and there was this lady. She didn't know who we were. I didn't know who she was. She walked up to me. I think she gave me a hug, and she said, you need to protect your brothers and sisters. And I wasn't the oldest. I was the second youngest at the time. And I didn't get it at the time. But now looking back and seeing how much I've done for the community, that makes sense. As I got older, it was just kind of seeing the lifestyle of some of my family members and understanding that it wasn't really sustainable. So it's like, what do I want for myself and what do I want for my kids? And so, yeah, it's just seeing the outcomes. Like, it was a lot of jail, a lot of like drug habits and alcohol habits, and a lot of death too. So, yeah, it was just seeing a lot of that stuff and like being able to analyze it. A lot of people, like, we all see it, but people perceive it in different ways. Like, normally if somebody that gets killed, you might let anger consume you. I didn't let anger consume me when my brothers got killed. So, yeah.
What can you say, if any, impact your parents had on how you were able to view the things and shift the perspectives?
So I was raised in a 2-parent household. I had my mother and my father, and I it sucks that I even have to point that out, because that's just how it should be.
Yeah.
But we don't all get that. My brothers were also, we raised in the same household. So in terms of like just that, they took a different route than I took. But the two things I say my parents gave me was, for one, they gave me a sense of entrepreneurship. My mom, she owned a daycare since I was a baby, and then my dad, he owns a school bus company.
Nice.
So I think seeing them, go and get it for themselves and not really working for other people inspired me to do the same thing. And then secondly, they never like rushed me or pushed me too much or forced me to do anything. I always felt like I was working on my own time and I didn't feel no pressure. And that kind of just helped me blossom into who I am right now. So.
Do you think that was because you were a younger child, or did they do that across the board with all the siblings? Because it's a little different when you the oldest versus the second to the last.
Well, and see, this is it. I think it's just I think a part of it just like the cards that I was dealt in life.
Okay.
Like really at an early age, like when I was like 4 or 5, 6 maybe, the teachers were telling my parents that I was gifted. So I think that they knew that they didn't have to worry about me too much, and they kind of could just like let me grow into who I was gonna be. And they said like when I was young, like when it came to getting in trouble and discipline, they would just have to mention the belt or show the belt, and I would get it together.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I'm good.
My bad. I seen what you do with that. I don't want no parts of that.
Some of my brothers, a little bit knuckleheaded.
They're like,
my older
whatever.
brothers. But then also, I mean, if I'm 2 years old and he's 4 years old and we doing the same thing, he gonna get the whooping before I do or the popping before I do. So me at 2, I'm like, all right.
You learn by observation.
You learn earlier. So
Like, so when I turn 4,
like
I'm gonna cut all that out. I'm gonna push it until like 3.5.
Right.
So I guess that is the cards I was dealt, just being a little bit younger and being able to observe, like, okay, that don't work, so I'm gonna just do this instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say up to this point has been the most challenging hurdle for you, and how are you victorious in it?
The most challenging hurdle, like in life or film?
In life.
In life. The most challenging hurdle.
We got him.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He looked at you. You got it. Your turn, Kay.
The most challenging hurdle.
First one that come to your mind.
Or even if it makes it easier, speaking in the film realm, you know what I'm saying?
I want the life, man. I want the life. I want the life.
Well,
Try to throw your lifeline.
To be honest, I think the answer to both is just not having the resources you need to do the things you want to do in life. Take it a little bit further. To be honest, I left the LAPD. It's been almost a year now. When I left, I had a lot of time to just analyze and just collect data on my people and our oppressors. Second thing I would say is just trying to wake our people up, and like loving our people is not always easy. Like when my brothers got killed by black men, they weren't killed by police. I had to forgive black people altogether. I don't know who killed my brothers. I never found out. I had family ask me like, what would you do if you saw them or you found them? And I said I would hope that I would forgive them and not do something that's gonna put me in jail or get my life taken as well. And that obviously that's not the answer that they probably wanted or that any normal person would give. But yeah, I would say just loving our people, because a lot of times like I have to take like where people lack, I have to do more and more. Like that comes with family. If I'm making a film, business, and our people, we got to get our stuff together. And so. Yeah,
we gonna touch on.
Can we come back to the LAPD?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I was saving that for last.
I was hoping you ain't get on.
I mean, he brought it up.
I was like, ooh,
there it is.
But OMO, Promotions and Enterprises. What does that stand for?
It's optimism meets opportunity. It's something that I kind of live by, and just something that I think I created when I was like 16 or 17 maybe. It's just being optimistic about life, because we gonna get these opportunities. They gonna come. Like when I started to write these scripts, I didn't really know where it was gonna go, but I felt like eventually I'm gonna get this opportunity to bring this thing to life. So with Trading Souls, the first opportunity I had was Christina Cooper, who was my film mentor. She's wonderful. She helped me bring that to life. So that was the opportunity.
Shout out to Christina.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I had to have that optimism to even think to create a 100-page script without even going to film school or a writing class or nothing. So that's what that's about, and I try to embody that as much as possible.
You ain't TR Wine, man.
You're doing it.
So in other words, when you are prompted to move, and then the opportunities will meet you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell people all the time, opportunity is one of my favorite, probably top 2, maybe my number 1 favorite word in the whole day.
Really? It's not
opportunity.
Mac?
I mean,
I'm just asking.
You would break me. I am my favorite in everything that I am existing in. But outside of me, opportunity, there's nothing like it. Opportunity will always be there.
Yes.
Be prepared for whatever
prepared
opportunity
for
is
it.
coming your way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Opportunities can change lives.
Yeah.
That's it.
Opportunities can break a system down. Opportunities can build a new system up. Opportunities. Well, let me stop pouring. Let me stop. I don't want to be back here preaching and everything. But
high school times for you. Like, what was your vision then? Like that version of Carlos in your mind. What was life gonna be like for you?
Sports.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was gonna go to like the NFL Hall of Fame, and I think I thought I was gonna go to the Olympics for rugby, which I'm getting back into.
Yes,
the Olympics for
rugby.
Yeah.
Explain rugby to me real quick, because I've
What?
seen it and it's
Yes.
just seems like fun.
If you,
And brutal.
That's fun.
you know what's crazy? I sustained more injuries in football than in rugby.
I can believe that.
Yeah, cause like so rugby explained, if you're from the hood, it's basically throw up tackle. You can't throw the ball forward, you gotta throw it back. You got 14 other teammates. All you gotta do is pitch it back, but y'all gotta score eventually. It's basically football though, without the shoulder pads and the helmet.
Yes.
Moving backwards in a forward motion.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta take one step
Sankofa.
back, 2 steps forward, basically. That's it. And so but I mean, it's not that brutal though. I think once I got into it, like football is more like head-on collision type of thing. Like every play somebody got to hit, because you got 5 linemen and 4 linemen, so they got to smash into each other. Rugby is not always that. If you get the ball out, really nobody got, like if they get the ball out to me, nobody getting touched. I'm running now. Just
You ain't touching me. I'm gone.
Yeah, so I after high school, just to get back into the question, after high school I went to Southwest Community College, and I played football for 2 years, and I was leading my team in tackles in both years. I was the captain on defense. My last game,
What position?
Safety, and a little bit of running back on offense. My last game, we played against Compton. I tried to tackle a guy and I dislocated my shoulder. So I that really like derailed me from really trying to do sports. So I got out of it for like a year. I went back to rugby like a year later, and this was like, I think this was the same day my brother was shot. I went to practice for rugby and I dislocated it again. So I'm like, oh fuck, I'm really done. Like it's done.
Yeah.
So I got back out of it. This one I was like 20 maybe. And I started back playing football for the LAPD. And toward the end of the football season for the LAPD, we played against other like law enforcement agencies. I dislocated again. Playing defense.
Third time's a charm.
I told myself, as long as I play offense, like, cause it only happens when I try to tackle somebody. But if I play I play offense, so I don't have to like just run around.
Like
them.
You got to take a hit. You said you ain't getting hit, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. So
which speaks to this man's whole life plan.
Right. But I'm when I do things, I'm like I want to win, so I wanted to win that game. So I'm like, fuck it, put me on defense too. Sure enough, dislocated again, and then
so that's 4 now.
Yeah,
Gee.
it's actually, I think I need surgery now. Like it's bad. Like I can't. There's certain ways I can't stretch in the morning when I wake up. I think we'll get into it a little bit more, I guess, a little bit. But when I got into my situation with the LAPD, they had me in handcuffs for like 8 hours. I got to meet with a specialist to see like, okay, it wasn't this bad before that. Could having my hands behind my back have caused it like more damage.
Absolutely.
We
run his money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, every single penny. Every single dollar.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Man,
I thought I was going to the NFL. So
we gonna stay on football for a little bit, cause you go a little bit deeper when it comes to football. Like I said, just a hero to the community.
The babies.
You know what I'm saying? So let me not say let's pay some bills. Let's
get this money.
Let's go get this money.
Get this money.
Get this money real quick on the Patio Politics. We're gonna be right back, y'all.
Yes.
In the comedy of the year.
Yo, clean it off. I'm screaming. Clean them off right now.
All this over shoes.
Yeah, and respect.
You're just entitled, you know.
Dude, you couldn't walk a mile in my shoes.
What size shoes do you guys wear?
11.
Perfect. Switch.
Get a surprising wake-up call.
What's up?
What's up?
Not much, so.
Oh yeah, you're lost.
This could get ugly.
How dare you?
Mess with the bull, the horn. Yo, where's you from, bro? I got a blast.
Star in Trading Zone.
I'm a poker.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
Man, ring this bell right, man.
One more game. Matter of fact, hand applause. We got a hero. We got a hood hero right here.
That part.
Right here. The most natural costume you'll ever see in the whole wide world.
Boom, black man.
He ain't got to step into
on
a
his
phone
throne.
booth or nothing.
That part.
Step out into the world.
And he's on offense.
Yeah, on offense. You still on defense?
No, he don't need to be. Clearly,
You ain't gotta hit
the Most
nothing
High
else you need
has
to hit.
shown this man that he don't even need. His pace is not on defense. It's clearly on offense in all realms, and that is how the blessings are going to continue to pour.
Come on.
Stop hitting.
Like, for real.
Man, I'm just,
For real.
hey, there it is.
There are different ways to hit, though, and you definitely been hitting in other ways.
Yeah.
Football and the youth. What was your first thought process of getting into that, and what has it become?
I first wanted to, when I first stopped playing, I started to like just train people around my neighborhood, guys that were a couple years younger than me, because like they saw, I guess, just like the little success I had and like the speed and stuff I had and with the, the agility ladders and stuff. So I'm like, if I got the knowledge, why not share it? And then my oldest nephew, he's 8 now, little Andrew. Once he turned like 4, I'm like, okay, I need to start my own football team so I can really coach him. So he's 8 now, and we joined this team called the Dream Team. It's connected to the Dream Foundation, which is connected to I guess a defensive end. This is his second year. His name's Kayvon Thibodeau. He plays for the New York Giants. So shout out to Kayvon. He went to Dorsey High School, and then he went to some school, I think, in the Valley for a couple of years. But yeah, I got into it because I wanted to help my nephew. And then after he came little Major, who lives with me and my mom now. And then I got 2 twin nephews, Major 6, the twins are 5. So, I got all of them. I'm like, man, I want to give them the knowledge I have and push them to be, better than I was, at a young age too. So, it just came from really trying to help them. And then as I'm now stepping into my purpose, I'm seeing that football is going to be the, I guess, the platform for me to educate young black men in the community. So like football is, I'm gonna get y'all in for football.
The door opener.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna teach y'all.
But it ain't the meal.
Yeah, absolutely, about morals and just honor and how to honor our people and stuff like that. So
fatherhood outside of the household.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw you with the babies meditating.
Yeah.
I said, come on, teach them.
Absolutely.
Get them in there young.
And that's another one of those things where it's like, I was never really into that before, but it's something that I think that our people need, and I think the kids need, so I got to get into it myself. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I need to be better for them. So yeah, absolutely. I'm coaching now. I'm the head coach for our 6U team, and then I pretty much assist with all the rest of the teams. And I was telling Kendon earlier, I think our 6U team is going to go undefeated this year.
And I think they are.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put that out there. Go ahead, little babies. Go ahead.
We've been putting in a lot of work. Like at the beginning of the year, I got a van because I knew since last year, I coached a little bit last year, some kids don't have a ride to practice. So, okay, I got a van.
Hey, Daddy, let me borrow your school bus.
Right, like, my dad owns a school bus, so if we got to do that, I'll do that. The school bus, the gas is expensive, so we try to stay away from the school bus. But, if, like, some kids need help getting, paid for, I try to help pay for the kids and just put myself in a position to where I can help. And that goes back, once again, just bettering myself so that I can be better for the kids.
What's better than a human joystick? I really want to know.
Oh man, so yeah.
Oh man.
Dream with a J. Dream with a J.
With a J.
Why a
yes.
J?
Yeah. I didn't really ask, but what I think is that the president of the organization, his daughter's name is Dream with a J. So
Okay.
I
Nice.
think that he got inspired by his daughter being, well, I think she's like 12 or 13 now. But I think he got inspired by her name for, whatever he named her Dream. And so that's why this foundation is named
Dream with a J.
Got you.
That's
What
what's
what available how do I want to say this? Not departments. Think sports. Come on, Mac, you got it in there. Divisions. There you go.
Oh,
what
so
divisions do we have?
We start at 5 and we go all the way up to 14. So all the teams are still open. For the 5 and 6 year olds, it's just flag, it's not tackle. So it costs like $200. And then for the tackle teams, it's like $275. If we can get maybe like 1 or 2, the first 2 that come, if you need financial assistance, I'll help. Anything other than 2, y'all gonna have to talk to the other coaches. But yeah, we the 5 and 6 year old team, we basically full. Like if we get somebody that's like an absolute like great player, we might take them. But we're basically full for the youngest group. The older groups from 7 on up, they need more players. So the rosters are open. We practice
How
at
can
Rancho.
people reach for that?
So we practice at Rancho. The address is 5001 Rodeo Road, I think. It's right behind Dorsey High School on the baseball field.
Yeah.
You can if you have any questions, my Instagram, Mayor of South Central, and then the foundation Instagram is I think just Dream Foundation. You can hit them up.
Dream with a J.
Dream with a J, yeah. Foundation. You can hit them up. Come on out if you got kids. We got cheer too. So boys and girls, if you got kids, you want to get them active. Bring them out. And the thing about getting them in sports, a lot of coaches want to win. That's one, like playing football and executing is one thing, but you teach the kids like teamwork, you teach them hard work, you teach them discipline. So I tell like my family and friends, like even if you don't get them in sports, I want them on my team, but even if you don't want to put them in football, put them in karate or basketball or track, something else. Yeah, something to get them going. Because we don't want them sitting idle for 10 years. And then when they turn 15, they don't really know, like,
They don't know themselves.
Yeah, like they don't know what to do. They don't have no form of like discipline and teamwork and so get them in sports. At least do a couple years and let them try out a couple different things and it's maybe something to stick. I think a lot of the discipline that I have now came from like football. Like I think it started as a child, but I think it grew or I was able to sustain it because I started playing football. So it's like I gave myself a goal. Like okay, I need to continue to do these push-ups now because I want to be the best at football. So
would you say it was the team atmosphere that did that for you or just being involved?
I think just being involved. I think the team atmosphere kind of drove me to be like a leader, I think.
Gotcha.
Because I kind of saw that the other guys weren't as focused as me. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to show them by example what it means to really try to be a champion. Yeah.
Got you. We're going to start with the tip of the iceberg, and then later on, we're going to get into the Titanic hitting the iceberg.
Absolutely.
LAPD. What drove you to want to become a police officer?
There was a few different things. I had an auntie, LaShawn Robbins. She was with the LAPD for about 10 years before I decided to join. She was my only family member in it. And I think I was watching like a Donald Trump rally or something was going on. And we were at my grandma's house together. I don't know what made her tell me I should look into joining the LAPD, but for whatever reason, she decided, she was like, I think you should join. I looked at her, I'm like, I hear you, auntie, but I don't know about that. Like, all the stuff I saw in the media and stuff. So I kind of, I put it in my back pocket, but didn't think too much of it. At the time, I was still like, I'm going to the NFL, so I'm not really worried about that. But then again, in my last year of football at Southwest Community College, we had a recruiter. He's a black dude. I thought he was coming to play football. He looked so young, but he was probably like 35. Jeremy Bryant was his name. I still talk to him from now and then. He came to my football team and he kind of told us some of the perks of it. And the football season was, I was having a good season, but the team wasn't doing well. So I felt like I wasn't doing well. I'm like, yeah, it was bad. Both years, it was bad. Southwest, So I was like, okay, I'll look into it. So he told me to go take the written test. Oh, and then I had a coach, and not to throw him under the bus. When the dude left out the room, the coach the head coach, he came back in laughing, and he said, he was like, yeah, that's all sounds good, but y'all motherfuckers can't be no police officers. Like, y'all criminals and shit. He was laughing. And some of the people laughed with him. I didn't find it funny.
Yeah.
I wasn't
tear
like,
down moment.
Yeah, like I didn't really care to like. I wasn't really thinking too deep into like actually join LAPD, but it's just like, why would you tell these young dudes that?
Yeah,
like, if you telling us we can't be police officers, you telling us we can't get to the league.
Yeah. So
we can't do nothing.
But then he was like, "Oh, look at Carlos. He mad that I said that." And I'm like, I was like, I just don't find it funny, coach. Like, that wasn't funny, but you know, whatever floats your boat, cool. But anyway, so I took the written test. I think him doing that and saying that kind of motivated me to do it.
So did you ever take your successful test back to him? Like, look at this.
Nah, I never did.
Well, look at this, coach.
Yeah, I'm sure in a year or two he heard that I had I made it into the LAPD though. But yeah, so you know, that kind of inspired me. Just, you know, seeing what happened to my brothers too. I thought that I would like join like the homicide detective unit one day and you know, be a part of that and solve murders and stuff like that. And I wanted to get back into the black community, which I was able to do, and just show black kids like we can be police officers. Before I left, I was on track to make $100,000 at 23 years old. Like, there's not many professions at 23 years old that black men can go and be like, I just made $100,000 this year. Yeah. But I wanted to show, you know, black kids like y'all can do it by living righteously and, you know, being there for your community and, you know, being a police officer. So.
And then you went through the academy and everything. Like, oh man,
that process.
man,
it was some ups and downs. It was really fun though.
How many years did you put in
into the LAPD or the academy?
Yeah, just the whole journey.
Well, so I started at 20. So you can't join the police academy until you're 20 and a half. What I did at like 20 or 19, I joined the little cadets, like the teenagers that be running around and stuff. Because they said if I joined the cadets, they were going to give me an internship. So I got the internship at Southwest Station. Shout out to Southwest Station. I know the LAPD, you know, they feel like we're at odds. Shout out to Southwest Station. I really appreciate the officers who helped me out there. They gave me an internship. I was making like $15 an hour, and I was 20 years old. That was like my first, like, oh damn, I'm making money now. Before that, it was just like, what do you call it? The little, like the checks from community college. Yeah, I was only getting that. So to be able to make, you know, $15, $16 an hour at 19 or 20 was cool. And then when I turned 21, 2 months after I turned 21, I got into the police academy. So I was basically in it from 20 to 23. Or 19 to 23, something like that. Actually, was it 24? Yeah, 24, because I left a year ago. I'm 25 now. So,
most memorable, positive experience that you had as a police officer, what was it?
I have a few. I guess the one that comes to mind first was the day before I had my incident with the LAPD. I was able to give out backpacks at one of the local elementary schools. We went up to the school. It was so my last 6 months in LAPD, I got into this unit that was really like about community policing and like trying to help the community and outreach.
That's wild.
And I was like, I was happy just to be in that unit. So as soon as I got in there, I'm like, all right, this is the plans. This is what I want to do. Let's go and do it. So the first thing that I did that I was able to do was we did a backpack drive for I think it was Tom Bradley Elementary School. It's near Leimert Park. We did a backpack drive. We gave out food. I paid for some of the stuff with my own money, and then we had a councilman give out the rest of the stuff. And then so that was real cool. Two of my partners came and our captain came, and we talked to the kids. One of the kids was actually a player on my football team. So he was like, "Coach Carlos, what you doing here?" And it was real cool though. That was one of the most memorable moments, I think.
That is special.
What would you say is one of the most rewarding things that you done got from that journey?
See, I'm gonna go back to what I said about I'm gonna reveal as much as I can. I think it gave me the means to overcome our oppressors. I didn't join it for that reason. But now I have, a lot of knowledge about how they operate and their mindset. And I think that's part of the reason why I don't fear them. And yeah, just the experience and knowledge that I gained being a part of them for the 4 or 5 years that I was.
I don't. Experiences. I'm still in awe, just in case you were still in awe. So we touched on the positive experiences, and so you know what's coming up next. But before we get to that, y'all already know what we gotta do.
Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree.
Yeah.
And every time it ching, money comes to me.
Yeah.
It all flows in so abundantly when
hey.
a ching, ching, ching on the money tree.
Carlos, Shanga, Kendon, Sir Mac, we here on the patio. We gonna be right back with y'all.
Back.
Don't you go nowhere.
Rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
See, I got it coming in threes,
That was
right?
that was like a remix, but with a beat.
Yeah. Blame the musically inclined section of my being.
I like it. I'm here for it.
Getting saucy, getting saucy. So yeah. Before we went into commercial break, you know what I'm saying, we were touching on the positives, and you know, there were mentionings all throughout the show about how used to be past tense. Speaking in past tense of the LAPD, you know what I'm saying, being in uniform and things of that nature. If you are open, you know, and you can operate it however you like at this moment in this point in time. But let's talk about the exit. Why did the exit take place? Where has the exit led you now in life, and what were those experiences from those negative moments?
Well, I say, like, before I get into like the ultimate reason why I left, just there was a couple bad things that happened, or just like some negative experiences. And so one came, this is probably like the second most, like, it didn't feel good. Throughout my time in LAPD, there was a lot of things that made me question if I was doing the right thing for my community. Like when I was a probationer, the P1 probationer is like your first year. You still could basically get fired if you mess up, like over any little thing, so don't mess up type of thing. We had got into like a use of force with this black guy, and I think it was right before the situation with George Floyd. And the dude, I think he was like breaking cars or something. So it was me, there's another P1, and there was two P3s. So it was basically like the two training officers. We had got the dude on like a gurney. First he started like fighting and stuff when they were trying to handcuff him. So we got him to the ground, and then while he was on the ground, we got him onto a gurney, and they lifted up the gurney. And then when they lifted the gurney, he like jumped up, but his hands was behind his back. He couldn't really do anything, and the officer like put his hand like on his chest, but like near his neck. And my reaction like was like, I just grabbed the officer's hand. He was a P3, he was like a training officer. After like a second, I let go. He wasn't like choking him, but that was my reaction. Like, I don't know if it was because I saw a black man, like I thought he was about to choke this man. I don't know if I was trying to like help him keep his job. But then afterwards, my P3, he wasn't my P3, but my P3, my training officer was like, hey man, make sure you talk to him, like, so that he knows that y'all are cool, because he might feel offended by you grabbing him. Because basically I was about to restrain him from choking the black man.
Yeah.
So I talked to him. He's like, nah, man, it's all good. So, but when I went home at night, I'm like, okay, well, I know if something would have happened, maybe I would have stepped in. And then so when the George Floyd thing did happen, I was like, okay, well, I at least know where my heart is at.
Yeah.
With making sure that my community goes home safe at the end of the day. Moving forward, I had walked into like a liquor store with one of my partners, and we were going to get some snacks or something, and there was like a little 4-year-old girl. She looked at her mom or her auntie, and she asked, were we going to hurt her? And for me, as our job as police officers, like, to protect the community. So the fact that this child is asking that, like, it was horrible, and I didn't know what to say, so I didn't say anything, and I felt like maybe her mom doesn't want me to say anything, so I'm just gonna let it go. But it was sad. I didn't really know what to think or what to say. And then there was another incident real quick where we did a traffic stop on these black teenagers. We did quite a few of those, but this one, they were driving a pretty nice car. Well, actually, we didn't even do the traffic stop. The unit that did it called an additional unit to the scene. So basically what they do is when they stop a group of young black men, maybe 2 or more,
call for backup. Yeah,
they call for backup. Can I get an additional unit? I got multiple occupants in the car. I enjoy showing up because I knew that they were going to get home safe if I was there, or most likely, I felt like they were more likely to get home safe if I was there. And so they were like searching the car. They went all through. They were trying to find guns or drugs. And the dude that I was standing next to was in handcuffs, maybe like somewhere between 17 and 19 years old. He started crying, and I'm like, "Why are you crying?" And he was like, he said, "Because they keep stopping me every day." And I was just like, damn, like I didn't really say nothing to him. They never find anything in the car. When they let the boys go, I told the officer, he was like, damn, that means he probably did have something in the car. But he didn't empathize with like just a black teenager being frustrated, probably. Like, maybe he's just frustrated that this keeps happening to him. So there was those few things. And then, so, those things were happening, and it was like multiple traffic stops where it's like I got multiple occupants, and like, damn, these dudes look like me. Like, if I wasn't in this uniform, would I be getting the same treatment? The night, I get long-winded, so I need to speed it up.
No, you good.
I was going to ask about the little girl.
Yeah.
Thinking back on it now, after you've had the experiences that you've had, and you're on the other side of things, if you could replay that moment, what would you say to her? And what would you say to the young brother that was crying?
Well, I think for the young girl, I probably would have just at least tried to talk to her, and just kind of like let her know, like, we're here to protect you guys. The issue is that the officers and a lot of the community both feel like it's us versus them. So like I said, I was like worried about how the mom might react, because I've had a situation where this didn't happen too many times, but like there was people that I knew when I didn't have the uniform on, we were cool. When I had the uniform on, they wouldn't shake my hand, and I didn't take it, I didn't take offense to it or nothing, but I didn't know, like I said, how that mom would have reacted. Like get away from my daughter. Like,
but if that wasn't in play, if everything was good, what wisdom would you impart upon that young lady or that little girl?
Yeah.
Or what would you say, or how would you speak to her heart in that moment?
I would have told her, like, we're here to protect you guys. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if I had stickers, but they have these little stickers that you can give the kids too, and just I would have tried to make it a positive experience for her. Maybe would have bought her some chips or something if I could have, if her mom would have let me, and just let her know, like, we're not here to harm you guys. Looking back, I can't speak for all of them. I'm not gonna say that the police are like out there hunting to kill all black people, but I think that they are trying to do harm to the black community. So I can't speak for all officers. And then for that black young man, even now, I don't know if there's as much that I could have said to him, but to those officers, I think I could have told him, like, no, he probably is just sad that you guys keep stopping him. And I didn't speak up more. I mean, I was only 22, 23, and like I said, I had a lot of moments where I was trying to figure out, like, damn, am I doing the right things? Am I navigating this the way that I'm supposed to be navigating it? And so, yeah, I would have talked to those officers, if anything, and just, tell them, like, nah, he probably is just frustrated with being stopped so much. We don't all have guns or illegal guns on us.
Yeah. This is heavy. This is heavy. It's heavy. It's definitely heavy. LA Times. LA Times published a piece on your situation and things of that nature. Like, how did that come about? Was it the awareness or?
So, all right. So we'll get into the story, or what happened, the incident. It was August 28th or 29th. We were actually filming for my movie Trading Souls that day. We were on set at my old high school. It was one of my View Park High School. One of their campuses let us use the campus. So we were there all day. We were filming. It was a good day. We ate, and then most of the crew had went ahead and went to the house because we had like 2 more scenes to film. Me, the sound guy, and maybe like 2 more people. We stayed back to clean up a little bit and just make sure everything was okay. So I think maybe they got to the house around 6:37. When I pulled up, it was like 7:20, 7:21, something like that. I remember seeing that timestamp somewhere. So I rode with the sound guy because he didn't have a ride, or I drove the sound guy. He was in the passenger seat. I was driving. The house was like 5 minutes away from the school location, basically off of Florence and Crenshaw. And so, we get to the house. Me and the dude, we chopping it up. We chilling. We chatting. We sitting there for maybe like a minute. I get out of the car, and then I'm like, oh snap, I left some stuff in the car. We had like equipment, we had backpacks and stuff in the car. So I get back in, I grab some of my stuff. As I step back out, I turn around and I see LAPD's gang unit. It was 3 officers, two Hispanics, 1 white guy. He was in the back seat. They all get out. This wasn't the first time I've been pulled over, but it was the first time I've been put over as a police officer. And it's crazy because I've gone over in my head like multiple times if I got stopped as a police officer. But I immediately put my hands up. I'm like, I'm officer. It was shocking, but I'm like, I'm Officer Robbins. I'm LAPD. I work at Southwest Division. I do have my firearms on me because I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm a black man. They see a gun, I don't know what they might do. So I'm gonna let them know. And as a police officer, I was legally able to carry my firearms. So they were like, okay, just go up against the fence for me. And at the time, I'm like, okay, that's protocol. I told you I'm a police officer, but y'all got to verify that, at least. So the dude I was with, I guess he had a backpack on. He put it back in the car. They put us both against the fence. They handcuff us. So the next thing they say is, all right, we got to go in your car. I told him immediately, like, no, you're not gonna go in my car. For one, you don't have a right to. Secondly, that's not how you ask for consent to go into a vehicle. And I'm like, I just told you I'm a police officer. Are y'all gonna try to verify that or not? Next thing, for like 5 minutes, they're like, oh, why can't we go into your car? What y'all doing over here? Like trying to do that type of thing. The dude next to me, they trying to like ask him questions and stuff. I felt like they shouldn't and I asked him like, why'd y'all put me over tinted windows? I don't think that they saw me driving with tinted windows. So first and foremost, to stop me and give me a ticket for driving with tinted windows, you got to see me driving with tinted windows. So I think that's where they first messed up at. So I'm like, tinted windows, but then there was also like this policy that was passed in LAPD last year, and I know these things because I'm a police officer. They can't say that they're stopping people for tinted windows or something minor and then try to go into their vehicle to look for guns and all that type of stuff. So yeah, after like 5 minutes, the dude finally pulls out, they don't go into my car. The dude finally pulls out my ID after going back and forth. And under my California driver's license was my police ID. So I'm in handcuffs. I'm looking at him, and he pulls out my driver's license, and he does like a double take when he sees my police ID, as if he didn't want to see it or he just didn't believe it. And at that point, I'm like, okay, you see that? Can you get me out of these handcuffs now? I guess I'm really prideful. I don't, and this is what I want to get our people to see. I don't take being put in chains lightly. I found that very disrespectful and offensive, especially because I didn't do anything wrong. I just didn't take that lightly. So anyways, I think I skipped over. They took the guns out first when they handcuffed me. They took those out, and then they were like, we're going to go into your car. And I was like, no, I'm a police officer. I just told y'all that, and y'all don't have consent to go into my car. But anyways, fast forward, you finally get the ID, and they're like, oh, we can't verify that you're a police officer. You might be lying. You might have quit and kept the bat, all type of stuff. But I think we have at least 2 systems, or had at least 2 systems within the LAPD where you can look up somebody's ID number, police ID number, and it'll show if they're an active police officer or not within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We were there for about an hour, and they were like, yeah, we can't verify that, and we don't know who he is, and we can't get in contact with. So after like 20-30 minutes, I'm like, all right, just call the sergeants and stuff, because I'm not like this ain't cool. Like I said, I was at my house, so my family started to come out, my film crew started to come out. I think I don't want to say it was the most traumatizing part, but it was very like demeaning to have them see that, like, here I am, like, you know, I am a police officer, I am a community member, I'm not the director, but I'm the producer of this. Like, we're on set right now, and y'all got me in handcuffs like an animal. And so for them to have to see that, and for us to be derailed like that, it was just sad, especially because like how we talked about earlier, I navigated through so much stuff in my life in my teen years to stay out of trouble, to accomplish the things that I did. So for them,
come to you.
Right, for me to go and get the same credentials y'all got, and to do the whole thing y'all say, where if you just do this, you'll stay out of trouble, for y'all to still treat me like this,
man,
yeah, it was a lot. I took it personal, I'm not gonna lie. So after like an hour, the sergeant and stuff came out. They were like, okay, we're gonna let you guys go. And then for whatever reason, I don't know if the guy I was with gave them consent. I still don't know that. I don't know what was the reason, but they went into my car and they went into his backpack, and they found, I guess, a firearm that was illegal. And so they took us both back to the station, and they were like, I guess they said, like, even though the other guy's ID or whatever is in the bag, it might also be his, meaning mine. So we're gonna take them both back to the station. So I get to the station, it's like 8:30 now, and the sun set. And I was trying to tell my film crew, like, all right, just keep filming. We got to get this movie done. So y'all just keep on filming. So I get to the station, I'm in handcuffs from like all the way up to like 3 a.m. We started at 7 that night, and I'm in handcuffs till 3 a.m. After like maybe 12 or 1, I asked them, like, can y'all just put me in a cell, take these handcuffs off so I can go to sleep? I'm tired. Like, because the day before I did the backpack drive, the next morning I had to wake up and like go to set. So like, it was tiring. And I think the next day or 2 days later, the next day I was supposed to be on set, and the day after that, I think I was supposed to go back to work. So it was like basically no days off. So I'm like, I'm tired. Can I just go to sleep? They're like, nah, we don't want to do that to you. So I ended up being in cuffs till like 3 a.m. They had brought like some captains in and some internal affairs investigators and stuff. And the lady that reviewed everything, or she was over it, the sergeant over it, she basically told me that they reviewed the camera. They didn't have enough to arrest a regular civilian, let alone a police officer. So they let me go. The captain, who didn't say nothing to me all night, came and was like real apologetic about the situation. Like, oh, it was an accident, or we didn't meet, like I'm gonna call your captain at Southwest and get you a couple days off so you can rest a little bit. And I'm like, all right, man. So they gave me my firearms back and everything. They gave me all my stuff back. But I'm just like, y'all just had me in handcuffs for 8-9 hours. I couldn't find peace within myself, knowing that I was still trying to represent y'all in the good light that I was. Because the day before, like, I did that backpack drive on behalf of them, like trying to show my community, like, look how far the LAPD has come. We're giving back to the community. So for y'all to do that to me the next day, it's like, nah, I'm not gonna keep giving you guys my service. And so, about a week later, I turned in my resignation letter, and that was it. That's all she wrote from there.
Yeah. What has life been like since?
I'm gonna be completely honest. The first few months, it was hard. Just trying to figure out like what was the next steps and where to go in life. I had been involved with the LAPD for like 5 years, and so for me to have stopped so abruptly, I was just really like kind of like soul searching and trying to figure out like what should I do next. And after those, I guess maybe like 3 or 4 months, I think I was able to find like, okay, this was meant to happen. Like that traffic stop that was done on me, or I don't even want to call it a traffic stop. It was a pedestrian stop, or I don't know what they want to call it. We'll see.
Target.
Yeah. They thought so it was just to go back a little bit, it was the gang unit for 77. The gang unit's job is to look for gang members. So when we go to court, y'all not gonna tell me that y'all job isn't to look for gang members, and y'all didn't think that we were gang members. Like, I know y'all function. So we got a lot to talk about. I don't think their body cameras were on when they first started, which they were supposed to be, but maybe they were. We'll see when we go to court. Like I said, the way that they asked for consent to search my vehicle, and then when I said no, they continued to. In our policy, it's their job to not continue to ask for consent to search a vehicle. So there's a lot of things that I know that they did wrong that night.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about that in court when we get there.
Yeah.
Boy, taking it right.
Take your L.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think, but you asked a question, I think, and I didn't really get to it. So what was like life like
Afterwards,
after?
yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of soul searching. I was upset and I felt like I was betrayed, but then I kind of came, to understand that it literally, I think, had to be me, because had it been another like non-black police officer, it would have just been like, all right, whatever. Had it been another civilian, he wouldn't have had the insight that I had as a police officer. And had it been another black police officer, he might not have had the love that I have for the black community to want to stand up and say something about it. So, like I said, I'm not really religious, but I think the universe chose me for a reason. So
when you have,
I was gonna say, like, this is like the first time that I ever met anybody who really got like a real first-hand example of both sides of the world. Like, you got brothers who really like, live that life, but at the same time, you really been in that field with the police officers.
Yeah.
Man, you really got work in the community. Man, it's this commentary.
Yeah.
and I was gonna ask you, when it comes to pedestrian stops and or traffic stops, what are people's rights? So that people know. Like you said something very key. One, you said they're asking for consent to search my vehicle, and I told them no. By law, they are not supposed to keep asking. What are some other important things that people should know when they come into contact with a police officer in regards to things like that?
There's like a couple pieces of advice that I give to people. If you feel like you've been stopped, at to be a traffic pedestrian stop, you feel like you've been profiled or whatever, I think that people should file complaints, because like with my situation, what I'm hoping is that there's been complaints filed beforehand, and it's going to show a track record of those officers being malicious in our community. So I'm hoping that moving forward, a lot of this stuff is going to be brought to light in courtrooms, but this track record of these complaints, it's going to show like, no, it wasn't just, oh, I made a mistake this one time. They keep doing this and they aren't acknowledging their mistakes. So if you feel like you've been profiled, request a sergeant, file a complaint, and they're going to try to talk to you and like sweet talk you.
File the complaint anyway.
File that complaint
Make sure that it's on record.
Absolutely.
This is a season of return.
Yeah, absolutely.
Season of return.
It happened to me before. They came and sweet talked me out of the complaint.
Yeah, they the first time I wasn't profiled, but basically the officers put me in handcuffs because she said cuff him because he's talking too much. I lived in the same area. I think it was the gang unit initially. They had stopped a group of like black men. I was like 17. But they stopped a group of black men at the liquor store near my house, and me and like two other people were kind of watching it. And one of the older women police officers, she looked at a younger dude who I think now was a P1 or probationer or rookie or whatever. She told him basically watch them, meaning me and the two people next to me. We were just at the entrance of the store kind of watching what was going on in the parking lot. So he turned around and he pointed his guns at us. I'm 17 years old. I got a shorts on, basketball shorts on, and a football in my hand and a jacket on. And I'm like, bro, why are you pointing? I never had a gun pointed at me before. Like, you would think like, oh, Los Angeles, South Central, like, oh, you gang. No, I never experienced that before. So to experience it from a police officer, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? And I was scared, but I'm like, that's not gonna stop me from standing up for myself and these two people next to me. And the people next to me, they were older, they were black, and they were like, hey, you should just be quiet. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be quiet because this ain't right. Like, I got a football in my hand. Why are you perceiving me as a threat right now? And so I kept talking to him, and I'm like, ma'am, can you tell him to like put that gun down? Like, I'm seeing the muzzle of his gun right now. Like looking back, I understand that was severely wrong. Like, he probably could have got fired for that. You never supposed to be pointing your gun at somebody, especially if they're not a threat. Like, I perceive no threat to you other than the color of my skin. So when I went home to tell my dad, he went back. Basically, the sergeant told my dad he fit the description of somebody that had just robbed a store.
Really?
Black man.
Really?
Man, like I we weren't educated on it back then. I don't know what my dad was. I wasn't, but now that I am, there's no more they fit the description type of stuff. But to get back into like, your question, file those complaints. Also, don't say too much. Even if it's like they call it a consensual encounter, where the officer, they aren't arresting you, they aren't really
detention.
Yeah, it's not even really a detention yet. They're kind of just talking to you. They fishing. Yeah, they fishing for something to arrest you for. I just saw this video on Instagram. This officer was asking this dude, "Aren't you supposed to be in school right now? How old are you? Where your ID at?" And the dude, like, he was like, nah, like, say as minimal as possible. Don't start talking to them. They're looking for reasons to arrest you.
Yeah.
These police officers are not your friends. When I was a police officer, I would have like situations where the police officers would like talk sweet to people, and they would be like, "Yeah, just did you do this, or how'd you or they'll be like, if you got a gun, it's all right, like it's not a felony." And they'll be like, I do got one under, like it's in the back seat or something. You done, bro. They don't. They trying to trick y'all, bro.
Like traps, sending out traps.
Yeah. And so in this instance, this is where I say they're hunting to put us in prison. They're not hunting specifically to kill all of us, but they're looking for reasons to put our people, meaning black people, in prison. So just say as minimal as possible. File that complaint, record it if you can. Those are the main things.
When you have an encounter with a police officer, by law, what is it that you do have to ask them and or give them?
So if you are detained, you have to give them.
And detained means handcuffed.
Detained, like handcuffed or just stopped. Like you aren't free to go. It's not arrested yet, but it's like, okay, I just saw you pass a stop sign without stopping. Now you're detained. You have to give them your ID. If they ask you to step out of the vehicle, you have to do that, unfortunately. And what I saw was that it really only happens to black people. But you have to step out of the vehicle.
Do they have to tell you why they're asking you to step out the vehicle before you do that, or why they pulled you over before they asked you to step out the vehicle?
So per LAPD policy, yes, which is another thing I think those officers violated when they stopped me. They actually have to say it on camera before they even walk up to the person. And then they also have to say it when they get to the person. Hey, I'm officer such and such. I'm stopping you for tinted windows. I'm stopping you for running that red light. Can I see your ID? Or whatever the case may be. The way that they do it a lot differently, especially like the gang units. So there's a gray area with like passengers in the car. Because I've heard like through training that they're not really detained. But then I also heard like if there's suspicion of another crime, they are detained. So it's like that's a gray area. Like they can just say, "Oh, I think," or "I thought something," blah blah blah. Like the dude I was with, we got out of the car. Even if he threw a backpack in the car, that's not illegal. That's not a reason to detain him. For me, y'all see it. Even if y'all saw me driving with tinted windows, that's not a reason to detain my passenger. Why did you detain my passenger? So that part is a gray area with like what they can do as far as like detaining passengers.
So you do have to give them identification when they pull you over.
And if they ask you to step out, you do have to step out. Those are the main things.
And then the consent to search my vehicle. If I do tell you, yes, you can search my vehicle, can they go in my glove compartment as well?
So I know for sure with the LAPD, there's parts of your, like you can tell them, I don't want this, I don't want my trunk searched, or I don't want my glove compartment searched. And also, this is per LAPD. So the LAPD is not like, the sheriff's is different.
Right.
The LAPD actually put more restraints on what their officers can do, which is a good thing for us. But so there's certain, and then also at any point you can tell them, hey, how do you say, like, I take back consent. I don't want you to search my vehicle.
I do not consent.
Yeah, I want you to get out of my vehicle. You can do that at any time, and they're supposed to stop searching your vehicle. There's those few things, and the general public is not knowledgeable about these things.
Right.
So I want to, spread that knowledge and that awareness. Man. I'm glad that the body cameras are coming because, but then, so like with my situation, like I said, I don't know why they went in my car still because I didn't give them consent to. And so when we go to court, I'm hoping to find that answer, because at the end of the day, they might still do illegal things, which is what I think they did to me.
Yeah.
Can your passenger give them consent to check your vehicle, or does it have to be the driver saying, I give you consent to search the vehicle?
And so this is another one of those gray areas. The passenger can give them, like, so my passenger, he had a backpack. He can give them consent for his backpack. So I think they would have been allowed to go into the vehicle and grab the backpack, and that was it, and then go through his backpack. It's the same thing I think with houses, is that like, let's say I'm just a tenant in a house, but the house isn't like owned by me. I can give them consent for my room, but they aren't supposed to go into the whole house because I gave them consent to my room. So we actually had an incident where they arrested this guy, and they said they went into his room because somebody else gave them consent for his room. But it's like, if you guys are putting the ownership of the room on him, how are you getting consent from somebody else? If they gave you consent, that means they have ownership over that. And that was the same thing for my situation. I don't know, like, if he did give them consent, which I don't think he did. I don't know if he did, but if he did,
it's something for his backpack.
Yeah, and then he was the owner of that at that point. Like, he gave y'all consent, meaning he's the owner. So why did y'all have me in handcuffs for 8 more hours?
Yeah.
These are questions that I have that I won't answer.
And you're going to get those answers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when they first stopped me, they were with the sergeants, and they were trying to, the first thing they told me, we stopped you for tinted windows. And then they kind of were telling the sergeant, I think, oh, we saw them standing next to the vehicle. What else? Because that's not you can stand next to a vehicle, you can put a backpack into the vehicle. What else did you stop them for? So,
because this had to be arguable, reasonable suspicion.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, is my skin like what?
What's the suspicion?
So we gonna get into it for sure.
Yeah. Sound like they on the losing end to that. You know what I'm saying? Your story brings a whole new meaning to me. I don't know for anybody else, but to me, for black and blue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Giving us blacks the blues.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for being assigned to the space, going into the space to learn what you did, because like you said, now we have somebody that knows what the law is. And so those are the pieces that we need in our community to continue in the elevation and in the liberation. So thank you for sharing those things.
Definitely.
Did anybody see the movie The Spook Who Sat by the Door?
Yes.
That movie is crazy. So I didn't really, after my situation happened, I was like seeing comments and stuff about it on social media. I'm like, what are they talking about? But it's a movie, I think in like the 70s or the 80s, where this dude joined the
CIA.
CIA? Yeah. So he joined the CIA. Was it CIA or FBI?
CIA.
So he joined them for like 5 years, and then he quit like out of nowhere. And as soon as he told his boss he quit, the boss like, okay, have a nice life. And as soon as he walked out the room, the boss like, I need all the information on him. Who was he with and why did he blah blah. So anyways, he ended up like basically trying to take down the system and stuff. He actually said some things in the movie that I'm like, damn, I say that. Like, he said, you can't take a bed from a man that sleeps on the floor. I've been saying that for like 10 years. I'd never seen the movie before. And I was just like, what the hell? Like,
it's those same struggles.
Yeah.
It
was crazy. I think they need to remake that, because like, at least from what I remember, they didn't really say why he did it or what was his motivation to like get into the CIA from the beginning. It was kind of like it just
started off.
I want somebody to remake it.
Write it.
Read the book.
Somebody.
Have you read the book?
I haven't read the book.
Read the book. And like before you jump on the gun, read the book for sure.
The book is always a little bit better.
For sure.
So,
Carlos,
in closing today and everything that you share, first we want to thank you for coming to the patio, sharing your story.
No problem.
You know, Mac.
Man, I was just gonna say, tell the people where they can find you.
Right.
Man. Where can we connect with you on all social media platforms for everything that you got your hands in?
Well, I'm mainly just on Instagram. I have a Facebook. I think it's Carlos Robbins, and I don't even know my Twitter handle, but my Instagram is where I'm at. It's Mayor of South Central, and then my childcare, business is Unity of South Central. So yeah, Mayor of South Central, spelled just like that. You can find me on Instagram. I'm always there. I'm tapped in. I plan on like giving more knowledge about just a lot of stuff that I know, and just even some of the philosophies as well. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, ladies and
Right.
gentlemen, I hope that you've been fed. You know what I'm saying? This has definitely been a blessing of an episode. We thank you,
True.
Carlos, for being here.
Indeed.
Make sure y'all follow him on all of those social media platforms. Shout outs to the Legato Collection, Creative Educare, No Bad Energy by Rob Naylor. You know what I'm saying? The G. Lou Show, Didi Hairston, Risque Accessories. Shout outs to you, J5TH. We love you. Everybody in the background, we love y'all. T, Jazz. It's been Ken Don. It's been Shanga, the medicine woman. It's been your boy, King Mac Millie. You know what I'm saying? Sir Mac. Man, the patio. We deliver. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and join us for the next episode on the patio.
On the patio.
And we out
Yeah.
live.
We